Gable Steveson was an entertainer from his very early days in high school. Just look at this match between him and Kerkvliet. They were each the #1 ranked recruit in their recruiting classes, and they were going head-to-head in a high school bout. The gym, of course, is filled to the brim, and Gable getting in on that shot and getting a takedown on Kerkvliet out of bounds, but I'm pretty sure that this one's called off. Yeah, there it is. But not too long later, here we go. These two going at it. Entertainers, and Gable gets the takedown. Now, Gable ended up winning this match against Kerkvliet, but then he went on to fry even bigger opponents in college. Here in his early college debut, he's wrestling one of the top wrestlers in the country in Derek White, in on a shot, and oh my gosh, he takes him to his back. That was so awesome. I love rewatching these matches. Gets back points. I mean, this was like one of his first few official college matches. And here we are at the end of the match, and though Gable pushed the pace through the match, Derek White's aggressing hard. And look at Gable here. He's hyping up the crowd already. And that's still one of the funny things. Like, of course, yes, he maybe was considered a bit cocky early on, but now we know that that's just kind of the Gable personality. But then Gable had to face his toughest opponent yet in Anthony Cassar. Gable's 30-0, Cassar is 24-1. And I remember the haters saying that there's absolutely no way that Anthony Cassar was going to beat Gable Steveson. But this was a defining moment, in my opinion, in his career. So here we are in the third period. The score is tied 1-1, and Gable gets on a shot behind Cassar, and he takes him to the mat. A beautiful mat return. Shane Sparks would be hyped about that one.
That top position, staying in control with those mat returns.
But then Cassar looking for an escape, and he gets the escape, but now he needs something. And time is ticking down on the clock here. About 30 seconds left. Cassar needs a takedown in order to stay in this match. This is the Big Ten Championships. And Gable is looking to come away with his first one, but he gets in on a beautiful shot, takes Gable to the mat, and gets two. So here we are, 2 seconds left on the clock. Gable needs an escape to tie up the match to force overtime. The whistle blows, and he is unable to get it, which is crazy. I mean, did you just see that? Gable basically like gave up at the end there when there was like 1 second left on the clock. That, like, look at that compared to one of his future moments at the Olympics. We're going to get to that in a second. And then a couple weeks later, Cassar and Gable are wrestling in the NCAA semifinals. Gable in on a shot, but Cassar gets quick behind Steveson. He goes up early and then ends up winning out the match here. We see as time's ticking down again, Gable needs another takedown. He needs to score points, but time winded out. Now, Gable ended up finishing in third and probably was truly the second best wrestler in the country that year. But then we went on to the following year. And here we are a year later. Fast forward to 2020. Gable is in on this shot, and Mason Parris takes him right down to the mat, and he wants to win his first Big Ten title. With some more scoring action, Mason Parris now is looking to score with time ticking down, needs to score something on Gable, and then ends up, yeah, it looks like he's going to get this takedown on Gable. I'm pretty sure that this was like one of the last times Gable was taken down in his career. So there's a lot to look forward to.
I love the haters. I love the doubters.
This interview. Just
listen on my timeline, people saying I'm ducking. I showed up today, and I show up in 2 weeks.
So I remember there being a lot of chatter that year with Gable ducking and running from Mason Parris, who was seen to be the better wrestler that year, and he did not like that. Now, the national championships were canceled that year, but a couple weeks later, Flo had an event, Beat the Streets, and he ended up wrestling Trent Hilger. So he's wrestling him here at Beat the Streets, and Gable's in on that shot and just takes Hilger right to his back. And again, here we are at it's still in the first period, and Gable just racking up the points. At this point, the match is over. And Gable just sent a message here that not only was he a threat in folk style, but he is a major threat in freestyle in the upcoming Olympic cycle. 2021 Big Ten Finals. Gable had a strong season, but look at him just messing with Mason Parris there. And let me go over to Twitter for this one. So there was a lot of smack talk between Gable and Mason in the 2021 season, especially on Twitter. These two were supposed to wrestle in a freestyle event, but then Gable ended up wrestling Gwizdowski, but not Parris. And you see him tweet out here, "Can't run forever. See you soon." Oh boy, this does not bode well.
Over your rival in Michigan's Mason Parris here in the final.
This ain't a rivalry. I came here and did my job. I'm 2-0 against him. I'm gonna see him next week though.
And to be honest with you, I didn't like hearing that. I thought Gable was being a bit cocky here, but then he did definitely humble it down by the time he got to the national championships. We found out he just does not like Mason Parris. So here we are in the national finals a couple weeks later. Gable and Mason, and Gable is up on Mason Parris here. We're in the third period with time ticking down, and you see Gable's psyched because he's about to win his title. And with that title comes his signature backflip. Here we go. I'm psyched. I'm actually in that video in the background there, which is funny, but nice flip, Gable. Then after winning his national title, Gable said, hey, may as well try to make an Olympic team. And here he is looking to make his Olympic team by wrestling Nick Gwiazdowski. He's already up 8-1 with a minute left in the second period. And is he going to be able to do it? Gwiazdowski shoots in, but Gable just gets right behind him, gets in on the takedown, and he makes the Olympic team. As time winds down, you see that little hug of gratitude. Gable has made the Olympic team, and then next up are the Tokyo Olympics. And Gable does make a run at the Olympics. In fact, he made the Olympic finals, and as he's there, it seems like maybe he's not going to be able to get the job done because he's losing in the match by a takedown with seconds left on the clock. It seems it's all but over for him, but then he ends up getting behind, and I love watching this moment every single time I watch it. Oh my gosh, he's so psyched. Gable Steveson, the Olympic champion. I still remember exactly where I was. I was freaking out, yelling, excited, and then here he is. He's doing his signature backflip. You gotta love it. But then we get to the national finals in 2022. Gable has an undefeated season, dominated every single one of his opponents. He's hyping up the crowd, and there he goes, finishes with his last ever backflip, and then decides to remove his shoes, leave them in the center of the mat, signifying that his college career is over. But what's next for Gable Steveson? Well, we all know it's the WWE. Here he goes in his debut. You gotta love it. He's about to toss him there. So psyched. Now, I don't know if you're a WWE fan, but Gable was awesome to watch there. And because Gable's no longer wrestling in college, there's an open spot at heavyweight. And if you're interested in finding out who's going to win the 2023 National Wrestling Championships, you want to check out this video right here. I take you through every single weight from 125 all the way to heavyweight.